Good morning and welcome to day 18 of my daily dump. So today I was thinking about the reticular activating system and how it impacts my sleep, my neural pathways, and all this other stuff. And if you don't know what the reticular activating system is, it's primarily responsible for our sleep phases. But what it also does is, I'm not a neuroscientist, I don't really know, but what I've read was that it also helps us. It's the thing that makes us think that we always see something. So it's like if you buy a Volkswagen Bug, for instance, and you drive down the road, then you're going to see a bunch of Volkswagen Bugs everywhere. And you'll be like, there are so many Volkswagen Bugs on the road. But what's really happening is that you're actually just identifying. They're being more emphasized in your mind that there are more that because you can see every single one of them. Whereas normally your brain would just pass over them. You just wouldn't even think about it. This goes for a lot of different things. And I'm into this hippy dippy woo woo shit that all the gurus tell you to do, and I'm into all that. I do my morning meditation. I journal. I read. I do all this stuff in the morning because I want to get my mind right for when it's time for work. And so, getting back to the reticular activating system, you can also identify negative emotions. You can also identify the way people are. Like if you are in an unhappy relationship, for instance, then you start to only recognize the negative things about a person, and that's your reticular activating system. So you have much harder time unless you are consciously aware of what you are looking to see in that person. If you're not looking for that, then you are going to default to this reticular activating system, which could be positive, could be negative. But that is an important factor in whether or not your marriage, your relationship, or whatever survives. So, like whether it's Volkswagen Bugs, if it's positive emotions, it's the same. It's the same thing as far as I understand. Now, what I'm trying to do is trying to get myself into the right mindset for what I do every day, and I do not have enough time to be a good parent, a good worker, and a good business owner at the same time. So what I have to do is I have to kind of prepare my mind, and I start to talk to myself and tell myself what it is that I'm going to be, what I'm going to do, because I believe that it will trigger my reticular activating system to actually become the things that I say. And I very much believe in the power of speech, which is why I do these things every day, because I want to set an intention, and I want to set a vision for myself that I'm going to accomplish, because it's much easier to do if you are if you say it out loud. Just by physically saying it out loud, you're going to be much more likely to do it. Like whether that's stopping drinking, stopping smoking. If you say I don't smoke anymore, if you say that to yourself 100 times, then you're going to be much more likely to not smoke anymore. Also, books help. But anyways, so my intention today, my thing today is that I'm going to blaze through 100 of my learning modules. So I work for this big company now, and they have like this really crazy articulated onboarding thing that has a lot of education modules, and I'm loving it. It's really cool how much information is out there, and puts it into context for the things that I didn't know. So if there's Kool-Aid, and this is Kool-Aid, I am guzzling the Kool-Aid. And so that's kind of going to be my day to day. Yesterday I did some other, just admin stuff that I had to do, but yeah, so I'm just kind of telling my mind, I'm training my mind that I am X kind of person. I am Y kind of person. I am going to accomplish this. I am going to do this. I am going to learn this. And I put all that down in my journal. And that's kind of, that's the mission. That's the vision for today. And I think it's going to be much more likely that I'm going to do it. And not only that, but not only do I talk about the things that I do want to do, the person that I do want to the kind of person that I do want to be, but also the things that I don't do, and the kind of person I don't want to be. And so, I make a list of myself of all the non-negotiable things that I do every day. And I made a video about that a couple days ago, but there is a list of things that I do, and there's a list of things that I don't do. And if I'm kind of reminding myself constantly of this list, and I do that by writing it down, putting it in my notebook, and I have my notebook by my side. So I'm like, I'll look at something and be like, hey, is this on my not to do list? And then I'll either just not respond or respond politely saying no. Um, but oddly enough, with this new job, when I announced it on Facebook and Instagram, or when I also announced it on LinkedIn and Facebook, hundreds of people showed up and said congratulations and said way to go and all this other stuff. And I was a little surprised by that because I get jobs all the time. I had gotten jobs all the time as a freelancer, and I wish I got that kind of support every time I earned a piece of business, but I didn't, and nobody cared. In fact, some people were actively hostile. But so I got this job working for a big company that everybody's heard of before, and now it's all of a sudden it's all about celebrating, and everybody's just like really great, like really been really nice about it and gracious about it, and I'm cool with that. I love that. But it was just odd to me the striking comparison between the life of a freelancer and the life of an employee. It seems like being an employee is applauded much more than being an entrepreneur, being a freelancer. And I think that that's really weird because being a freelancer is very hard. being an entrepreneur is very hard. You have to have a high tolerance for suffering, like a ultra high tolerance for suffering, and allow for you have to have an understanding that things are not going to go well all the time, and in fact things will likely not go well for most of the time. And when it goes great, it goes great. But when it doesn't, you have to just get beat up and then get up again, sometimes for years. And that is the world. That is something that I applaud. But I just happen to be the right person for this job, and I don't think I have any exceptional talent or anything like that. I just happen to be have the right skill set that they were looking for this job, and otherwise, there's nothing quite extraordinary about me, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, I'm a member of the human race, which has 8 billion people on the planet. So it's like when I say that I'm not extraordinary, uh, I'm really not, and probably neither are you. And another thing that I was looking at today was my kid. Speaking of extraordinary humans, I just felt bad that my kid was going to grow up with a world of deifying celebrities and athletes, when there are elements of himself that he should be extremely proud of, and he should benchmark himself against other versions of himself versus other versions of strangers that he's never met. So I don't benchmark myself against other people, especially not celebrities. I do take a lot of influence, and I do I do very much listen to a couple people very specifically. In fact, things that I've mentioned today are influenced by some people that I read every day. But yeah, I want to benchmark myself against other versions of myself rather than benchmarking myself against people that you know have completely different lives than me. So yeah, so I mean that's all I got for you today. I'm looking forward to a good fun day. But if you see an entrepreneur, or somebody who has started a brand for themselves, or done something for themselves, and they say I did this, then give them a high five. I just got a job. I just got a job, and I'm going to do a specific function. And again, my God, why do people come out of the woodwork asking me to sell their brands now? It's my fourth day on the job, y'all. I don't I don't have any clout. I don't even know what my job is yet. So stop asking me to sell your brand. I don't have any influence on that. All right. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.